delegation might be something that sounds as if it's easy to do.
But it's not that easy, really, is it?
No, I think it's something that's like we've had to learn to do it.
I think it's a skill.
It's a skill.
It's a skill, and that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode of Get Real with the English Sisters.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Well, it's not really tough, but it's all about learning how to flex that muscle of delegation, if you want to call it that.
How to learn how to delegate like a pro, like as if you've always done it.
Well, yeah, it's taking small steps, I think. You start delegating in your relationships, you know, like...
I've always found that quite easy.
You have, haven't you? Yeah. It's like, please do that. Yeah. You can't do everything yourself, can you?
No, today, for instance, I was asking my hubby to help me do something on the computer to do with this podcast thing.
Yeah.
And I found I was starting to get really nervous and tense because I thought he was doing something wrong. I mean, he's a computer expert, so it was unlikely.
He's in IT, isn't he? He's really good at that stuff, yeah.
But I started getting edgy, and I realised that it was because I liked the competence to do it myself, and I knew that it had been set up in a certain way, and it worked like that. And so I was thinking, oh my God, no, you're doing, you're going to trash that, and then I won't be able to access those files. And I was getting really, really tense about it. I started, kind of raising my voice a bit, and then I realised it. So I said, sorry, sorry, darling, but it was like
it was out of your control.
It was out of my control, and I was thinking, if I knew how to do it, I would just prefer to do it because then I would have the whole picture, but I didn't know how to do it.
No, so you have to delegate.
Yeah.
Truth is, we don't know how to do every single thing. And there's not enough time in this life to do every single thing either.
And then I thought about like electricity. When we plug something in, we don't know how it works or who did it and who did all the wiring and everything.
No, we don't. But some people do.
Some people do.
We
but
just
someone
know there are
job.
the wires and they connect
it's someone
through
else's
the
job, And then I think that's why as humans we thrive so much. I think that's why it's so important to learn how to delegate and learn how to also not just delegate, but how to trust other people to be able to do a good job.
Yeah, you're right. Not how to know how... we don't necessarily need to know how everything works in order to be perfectly functional.
Yeah.
We take it for granted. We know that things are going to be working and we use them as our tools. Because it would be mind-boggling if you had to know everything. Well, imagine like what you said, electricity, you plug the hairdryer in, or had to, okay, let me see.
You practically have to live like a caveman.
You wouldn't live like a caveman. You'd have to live like somebody that's studying constantly and not being able to do anything else.
You have to do everything all on your own. You have to like make your own furniture, make your own food, grow your own food.
Oh, you mean in that way? Oh,
well, yeah. If you never delegated,
if you never relied on other human beings to help you, yeah.
It'd be a different world, wouldn't it?
It'd be a completely different world. That'd be awful.
I know.
For me. Yeah, that's an extreme. Yeah,
it's an extreme of wanting to do everything on your own.
I think before I wasn't very good at it, especially in the business. I wanted to do everything myself
because you didn't trust others.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just thought I'd probably do it quicker and faster and be more efficient.
But I think that's because you'd had a negative experience where you'd let go too much and then you saw that everything like went to pot.
Oh, God, you're right, yeah. Yeah,
there's
you're
like
right.
a balance.
Yeah, because obviously Violetta knows the history and the family business as well.
And then you had to jump into the family business and like help out and sort things
Yeah,
out. And then once you'd done it, then you felt as if you had to take control of it. So I think that's why you found it hard to delegate afterwards.
And isn't that why a lot of people probably find it hard to delegate? Yeah.
Yes, I do think that's a good point. But I think the other side of that is that sometimes you just always think that if you do it yourself, you're just going to do a better job.
Yeah, but you can't do everything yourself, like what we were saying before.
Well, sometimes I think it's also a mentality, because do you remember when we first came to Italy, how we were so shocked at how everyone used to get the professionals in to do everything?
Oh my God, yeah, like paint a room. What are you doing? Chiama il pittore, they would say. Call in the painter. I go, just for the bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms. I do it myself.
Yeah.
Do it myself. Then after I thought, gosh, this is like a kind of a British mentality, because we're not talking about rich people would call in painters.
No,
this is just
the
average, people, obviously working class, people that worked, but they would say, just call in the painter.
But they would say we can't do it because we're not professionals. The professionals can do a better job. Everyone has his
own job, but don't take away another person's like skills. That's there. They're perfect in that. Let them do it. Why are you trying to do it? You're never going to be as good as they're going to do it. And I was thinking, but I save the money. How much is it going to cost me to paint the room? But then I remember when I was actually painting one of the kids' rooms, and I had to sandpaper with this thing, and I was getting it all in my hair. I was thinking, what on earth am I doing? It's true I did it. Yeah. But maybe at what cost?
Well, you learnt a new skill.
I did, yeah. But but they do have that mentality here a lot. Yeah.
I think it's like what Mum always used to say once again, moderation.
Yeah. Moderation, yeah.
Because it is lovely learning new skills, and it is nice. It can also be like a pastime doing your own like DIY, like what they're doing.
You save money and you
get
satisfaction.
And you also get satisfaction, and you like, you do things together with your partner or even on your own.
You can call friends.
But you call friends, yeah. You can make it like into a bit of like a sort of almost entertaining.
Almost.
I had the almost.
Yeah.
Because it's hard work. But it can be, and then it can be very, very satisfying. Like we've done all the DIY in our house, and, my husband and I, but most of it, practically everything. But yeah, you kind of wonder. And also the reason why we have done it as well is I realise is because I don't particularly like having people in the house to do things for me, because I find it quite invasive, and it's like...
It's like your private space.
Yeah, and it's also like hard work. I find it hard work. Like, even though I can't like feel quite comfortable if there's someone in the house doing something, they're traipsing in and out, they're asking for things. Whereas if it's your hubby, you just,
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
He does the job.
Or if it's you doing it yourself, you just do it like when you feel like it, but you're not like waiting for someone to come or...
No, I know what you mean, but then again, there is that lovely, feeling of just... all right, just letting go,
just let someone
letting
do
a
it.
professional
Once you organise
once you get it done, they're going to be in the house, you just sit down, you might do some admin or something, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. That's what I normally do, and just...
I don't feel like I can be quite at ease if I've got someone in the house.
I know, it's like sharing the same office. There's something you have to like
learn.
You learn. Like just the other day, I was in the office, and then another assistant came and sat right next to me, and I thought, and I was just working, and I thought, what's wrong with me? Why is it just a shared space? I couldn't like
relax.
Yeah, and I was just working as well, and I thought, what's the problem? Am I such an introvert? What's wrong with me? Can't I just like learn to...
I think a lot of people feel like that.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's because you're not used to sharing your space as well, except for with me.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Anyway, that was a different subject. Something else. I'm not here to start getting all my own solutions, or maybe I am, I don't know.
Well, that's what the podcast is for, isn't it?
That's the secret truth behind it. I think all podcasters think this way when they interview other people as well. It's all learning, isn't it? You're getting insight here. We do the podcast together, but we also get our own insights. It does cause for self-reflection.
Well, it makes you think about things, about how you act, about what you do, how you communicate.
You become more conscious of
how you delegate. Yeah, I mean, I love delegating in my personal life, especially with my partner, with my husband. But my kids, I tend
but
to...
But not with... As far as the English sister stuff goes.
What? No.
No. You don't really delegate at all.
Well, not much. No. Because there's nothing...
We have discussed it, though, haven't we?
What, have we?
Yes. You said maybe sometimes we should get a professional to come in and help us with the podcast, with the editing.
No, I thought you meant with my husband that he should be doing it.
No, not him. That's not. Once again, we're not. We were just discussing. He can't be doing everything, and he might not want to do it either.
No, I thought if the podcast gets bigger, obviously we would.
Yes, yeah, that's what we said.
Hopefully it will grow.
Hopefully it will grow, and we can pay somebody else to maybe do the editing or to do. I mean, you at the moment you do it all.
Yeah, I do it all.
So I trust you completely in that because you're
You
really
do,
good
so
at
you
it.
delegate to me.
Well, yeah. Also because I literally don't have the time either. So
You're busy.
Yeah. So it be driving me nuts having to do that as well. But anyway, yeah, you have to learn how to delegate. You really do. It's something that at the beginning you can think, God, I can't be bothered, because then you also have to, when you delegate, sometimes you have to teach as well. If you're not getting a professional coming in, for example, you're at work and you're getting a new assistant or something, then you really have to delegate and teach them how to do it.
Yeah, but I think
gosh,
even with
it's
professionals,
definitely worth
with
it.
professionals even there is
that transition time.
Collaboration as well. Isn't
You
there?
have
There
to
is always
say, this is
questions.
how we do it here,
Yeah.
and even,
You can't just get up in the at midnight and start getting on your computer and just having a little wander.
What do you mean?
Well, I can do the editing whenever I want.
Oh, you can, yeah.
You know, if you're delegating to someone else, you have to have
Would
rules,
you like
positions.
that? It would be nice. Would you like it?
Well, at the moment it's fine.
It's fine 'cause you can handle it.
We have delegated in the past, and it is awkward as well. You have to, send things over, make sure.
Well,
the
with the
person's
books,
there.
when we did the books, we had to delegate.
Yeah.
We had to get an illustrator because we've also got some children's books out, and that's like saying, obviously, we're not going to do the drawings.
No, I wanted to.
You wanted to. I can tell you, we're
drawing.
not very good at drawing, but yes.
I bet they could be children's drawings.
Mm-hmm.
We've been saying.
Yeah. I mean, children's books, children's drawings, but in the end, you help someone else, don't you?
Well, that's how
That's
I've
the-
reframed
yeah.
it now. A lot of the times I think I won't do it myself. I'll get someone else to do it and pay them to do it, and then you're giving someone else you're
Giving them a job, you're giving them income.
opportunity to do it for you.
Exactly.
And it is nice to collaborate with people as well, because you make friendships with other people. It's beautiful.
Well, yeah, you bond. Then you've got their contacts, and whenever you need it, you can share that info as well. So, they're really great at doing that here, and
There's
pass
certain
on.
things I wouldn't have wanted to do, like publish our own books. I didn't fancy it,
No,
so it was nice to
was
get
lovely.
a publisher.
yeah,
But there is that element of they always say it about people in business and entrepreneurs and anyone. It's very difficult to want to delegate. That's one of the hardest things.
Yeah, your
Once
business
you
is like
learn
your
to
precious
delegate,
baby.
it's when your business actually grows and you grow as well, because you learn.
yeah. Because it's the only way to grow, really, is to delegate, because you just don't have enough time in a day.
And also, when you think
then-
about it, your skills that you've got could be used to creating more content. For instance,
Exactly.
if we did have someone that produced it all and everything, we would have more time to get more creative and create more content. Maybe
Yeah.
make more episodes instead of one a week. We could do two a week.
Yeah, there you go.
You'd have all this.
You'd have more time.
You'd have all
You'd
this
have
free
more
time if you didn't
time.
have to promote it
Oh
yourself.
my gosh, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
if
amazing.
you help us promote it, it'll be very nice.
Yeah.
Just share it with your family and friends, because
Yeah,
we do a lot of the promoting on our own now.
ourselves,
So
yeah.
we can also ask you to help us by
There you are, she's-
sharing. Here I am delegating to share. To share it with your family and friends. Spread the word about our podcast, Get Real with the English Sisters, and just share it, because the more you share it, the easier.
the more we have time to make content.
Well, yeah.
In the
and the
end,
more
yeah.
it grows, the more you can get a producer eventually.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's like
It's like not having to do it all yourself.
yeah. I remember when you first told me I should get a cleaner. Someone to come and clean. I didn't want to.
No, you
I
didn't.
mean, going back years and years, but I thought, what?
Yes, to have someone to help you in the house. I know.
I can do it. Are you
Yeah,
joking?
yeah. Well, that's only because my husband, being Italian,
Yeah.
he said, no, the professionals do it. I go, what professional has to come? That's ridiculous. He said, well, there's this lady. She's been doing it for years. She's really good at it. And she needs work. She needs work. So there you go. I mean, he's always had this mindset. You know, you give people a job. It's important. You have to give people work.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay then. But I didn't want anyone in the house either. I thought it was really weird at first. I had to overcome it. And then afterwards, like now, you think, gosh, blessing, thank you so much.
You see all these like celebrities living with all these housekeepers and cooks and that, and I think, how could they do it?
I wouldn't. Yeah, you think I wouldn't like that, but they seem to be pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it takes a while as well. Maybe that's just the lifestyle, isn't it? That
I think
if you're hosting and
they have to do it.
It's like it's part of their job, sort of thing, isn't it? To host and to have people, you can't do everything yourself.
But you wouldn't be able to relax, would you? Always having someone in the house.
Well, these people must go. Obviously, they relax. They go away, don't they? They come and they help you, and then they go. They're professionals, obviously, or maybe
a lot of the times they have to live in.
Well, okay, yes, that's a different, when they live in, then you've obviously got, if they're celebrities, we're talking about people that probably have mansions.
Yeah, but they struggle as well, don't they, with delegating?
They do.
Because they want to do it, don't they?
Well, yeah, they do want to do it. I mean, but you can't, can you? You can't go off and present a festival or make a beautiful film or whatever you're doing if we're talking about celebrities, and then also want to have your perfect home and do everything interior, decorate it, and do everything yourself. You can't. But for us normal human beings, you can delegate on a lot of things in your life. I mean, I remember even when Mum and Dad got sick. Mum had a stroke. Dad had, what's it called? Cancer. Yeah, and I mean... Of the lung cancer, yeah. And so it was just overwhelming. We were both just trying to juggle our small children and help them all the time, the best possible way we could. And we were just so overwhelmed by it. Mm. And then one day...
Yeah, especially me. I mean, I was, because they were living with me.
Yeah.
And it was just too much.
Just too much. And then one day I just said, we're going to need to get somebody to come and help them.
And then the trouble to find someone that we trusted.
Yes, trusted with our parents.
I know.
Because
it's really hard, but then afterwards it was the best thing. And also to get over the obstacles, because they didn't want anyone. They didn't want to live with anyone, but they didn't want to go to live anywhere else, so...
Yeah, it was just us having to care for them. Yeah. So that's also a big obstacle you have to overcome. Is like explaining.
I mean, they didn't want to go and live in like in a home or where they could be cared for. So they were living like with us in the downstairs flat, and it's too much for me. And my husband was very good about it, but. He would have to put up with all my complaining, saying, I can't handle this, I'm so stressed, I'm so anxious.
Yeah, obviously.
It's giving me anxiety, it's giving me stress. I couldn't, in the night, if the phone would ring, I would think, oh, what's happened now?
One of them has fallen over.
Down. What's happened? Do I have to rush off to ER? Yeah. And it was just too
We were always
much.
rushing off to ER. It was awful.
So, I mean, that was the best thing. And then I learned to, accept having someone in the house as well, because they were in the garden.
In your house, yeah.
And also just knowing that they might not do things as perfectly as we would. Like, maybe not as clean as we were. And as what we considered to be. We would notice certain things that were slightly lacking. But, I mean, the person that looked after them was very
sweet,
professional and sweet, and in other ways, she had her flaws, like we all do. But.
Yeah, that's true.
But we had to let go. Yeah, because we might not see our own flaws.
Of course not. You don't. It's very difficult to see your own flaws.
I mean, we might have been taking care of our parents. Then you might get snappy and say, "Oh, Mum, don't," and get irate. And if you see a stranger doing that, you think, well, how are they talking to her like that? But when you do it, you think it's
You
okay
don't
because you've
notice
done
it.
it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah,
You don't notice
it's
it.
lovely to have this neutral person coming in and just that's their job, taking care of them. And what a relief it was afterwards. Once you just overcame like the first month,
Yeah.
and then I just, even the guilt of like saying, allowing this person to have like, the person actually wanted to work, this lovely lady, she wanted to work on a Sunday, but I remember feeling guilty, thinking, no, I should be taking care of my parents on a Sunday. But then I was thinking, I've got small children. Sunday is the only day my husband wasn't working either. So I thought, should I really have to have this, like, because they needed full care. I mean, we're talking about nappies. We're talking about it was deep. It wasn't like just go and have a cup of tea with mom and dad. It was very intense.
Yeah, it was cooking, feeding.
So I remember thinking, yes, when yeah, okay, Sunday, yes, do Sunday as well, please. Anyway, that's a part of, like, in your personal life when you have to, probably comes a time for everyone to realise you've got to delegate and you need help. And it can be the best thing ever, really. It was the best thing for us.
It certainly was.
And
we got stick of it as well. We got some stick, didn't we, from relatives?
oh my goodness me.
Yeah, because it's
the
not
criticism we received from the relatives.
Like
I
from my
forgot about
sister.
that. Why aren't you doing it yourselves? Why aren't you looking after your own mother or your father? My gosh, I forgot about that. That was awful. Yeah, you have to like be strong.
Yeah, you have
and
to
say, look,
set-
I'm doing the best thing I can.
Yeah.
They're still in their own home as well. But imagine if you can't have them in your own home. You have to put them into care. You probably get a lot of criticism from that as well. It depends where your culture comes from.
Yeah, but I think you have to think, like, in the end, you have to think, is it, how's my mental health as well? Because in the end, if your mental health, if you're going to have if you're going to crash and you're going to burn out, in the end, you're not helpful to anyone, to your husband, to your kids, your partners, to whoever you're living with.
No, that is so
So
true.
it just,
it seems
it
obvious
really
to us
is
now, but at the moment,
about
when you're in it,
looking at your situation and saying, okay, from a neutral point of view, and
Yes.
saying, how can I delegate? How can I help myself here?
and by helping myself, I'm helping my whole family, really, and anyone else that's around me.
Yeah, because
'Cause
in
you're
the
not
end,
an island. You live with other people
In the
normally.
end, your parents also
They loved her so much, didn't they?
Yeah,
in the end,
and
the
they
person that took care of
also appreciate the fact that you can't do it. In the end, they kind of realised it, and even if they don't, if you have
her.
parents
It was
that
difficult
don't,
at first.
because some cultures, like what Yurka was saying, they
My
won't
gosh,
accept it.
no.
But if you have parents that don't, just think, well, I have to think about myself as well, because if I'm going to burn out, it's just, take care of your own
mental
own
health.
fire. You
Yeah.
have to your one candle. You have
and
it has
you
to
have
be
one
lit.
candle as well. You're right, and you only have a certain amount of days. And it's not being selfish. You have to overcome the think I'm being selfish. Delegating.
And delegating at work as well, it can be hard to do, but then you can find you've got much more
God,
free
I love
time
it
to do
now.
other stuff.
That I don't have to do everything,
Yeah.
but I've delegated a massive part of my husband's family business, which I used to have to do, and oh gosh, it's been a relief for me, a massive relief in the end. It was tough.
Yeah.
First couple of months, I have to do the train. Once you do it, I mean, I'm free now, more, much freer than I used to be. I don't have to be in the nitty gritty of it all either. And you're giving work to people as well.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's good. It's good.
It's a good thing to learn to delegate like a pro.
Yeah.
There's lots of tips out
we
there.
can't do it all by ourselves.
This
You
is
can't.
our personal experience, but there's loads of tips out there that you can check out on how to, how to go about it.
Small
But
steps, I think.
small
steps.
Yeah, small steps. At a
And
time,
then
prepare.
thinking that you're actually giving somebody else work and an income. Or if you're not giving them an income, you could be giving them a life purpose. Like they could be
like volunteers. They
yeah,
have to come.
yeah. They're helping you, and by helping you, they get great they get great joy from this, because maybe that is going to give them a purpose in life. So, maybe try and think about it in a different way.
Yeah, think about it in a different way. That really helps.
It really does.
So,
Right.
if you enjoyed this episode, please do share it, and do come and see us on YouTube as well, where you'll see the video, and at Get Real with the English Sisters on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you go. Twitter, it's the English Sisters.
Yes, that's right. Thank
See
you so
soon.
much.
Bye-bye. Lots of
Lots
love
and
and
lots of
smiles
love.
from the
English Sisters.
Bye.
Bye.